Hey guys, welcome back to Pixel Rich Games. In this episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we're gonna take a look at the moves and abilities of the Lonely Bird. Who thought we wouldn't be able to complete the flight range minigame in Breath of the Wild just because we didn't have wings? The Rivali fanbird, Teba. Let's head over to his information panel to kick this off. We have two types of attack in Age of Calamity. Y for regular attacks, and X for strong attacks. The arrows we see here indicate the different attacks that we can chain as combos. Before we dive into the different attack patterns that this bird has, let's just have a look at this vague description just below his unique action. Press X in the middle of a strong attack to unleash a flurry of arrows. This line is a bit misleading in a sense that it kinda tells us to press it just once and a flurry of arrows would be unleashed. This is actually the key mechanic to play in this champion. Once you learn this, you'll immediately be a better Teba player, at least 10.7 times over. Let's skip his unique action for now as that is a whole different topic on its own. Here's his 7 consecutive regular attacks. One important thing to note right off the bat is that this dude is flying 99.275% throughout the duration of this combo. Next up is our X or strong attack. So this one fires a bomb arrow somewhere up there and then lands right in front of us. There are two things that I want to point out about this attack. First is, it doesn't matter where or what direction you fired. This will land in front of Teba, on him if he's on the move. Second is all about the misleading line earlier. Let me show you guys what happens when I mash on the X button. Pretty cool, huh? This is actually where Teba's strength comes from. Now here's one Y straight to an X. This is actually one of 2 favorite moves that I have for Teba. I love that we're still able to adjust our aim, even while firing arrows to do real good AoE damage. This is also a real good tool in our arsenal to wreck weak point meters. Now here's YYX. Notice that our rate of fire while mashing on X is much slower than 1Y straight to X, but this time we can use our left joystick to airwalk while firing arrows. YYYX ends with us firing consecutive straight arrows. We're not able to move but can look sideways. I think that this move is overshadowed by our first 2 YX combos. 4Ys to an X is a good AoE attack to play with when just trying to have some fun. Make sure that you're not locked onto a target when using this or it'll be so hard to follow what Teba's doing. Like majority of the champions in the game, 5Ys to an X and 6Ys to an X share the same combo finisher. Now, this is the combo that defines Teba's power. The vantage point of this ability isn't the best, which makes aiming with the left joystick a bit of a guessing game. But man, the damage! It's all about that damage! Now that we're done with our list of YX combos, let's go back to our unique action. It vaguely says charge a powerful arrow. This unique action is kinda similar to Terraco's. Though the application is different, the mechanic is similar. Let me just plug in and say that I have Terraco's full combat guide out and the showcase doing a natural disaster, in case you haven't seen those yet. Links in the description. There are 4 stages to Teba's unique action. Here's the first, basically firing immediately. Now let's hold ZR a bit longer and wait for the charge sound and animation to trigger for a second time to see the next version. This one basically fires forward a cone of arrows. Charging an additional time fires an even bigger cone as we can see here. Now the 4th one is what I really like. Instead of firing these normal arrows, Teba fires bomb arrows into the air that converts our surroundings into a full-fledged battlefield. This makes bombs keep dropping from the air for a short while. One thing to keep in mind about ZR is it has a lockdown time. Not that Teba got COVID, but firing ZR arrows makes him unable to move for a bit. I actually make a lot of mistakes from this mechanic that lead to taking huge chunks of damage from bosses. Now let's have a look at Teba's moves that aren't on his information panel. Like all characters, we have the ability to wall jump, even if we can actually fly. There's no button in this game to make a character jump. What we need to do is dash towards a structure by pressing B, then the option to wall jump will pop up, telling us to press B again if we want to jump. Once airborne, whether from a wall jump or an attack that launched us, we have a good number of options of what we can do next. Our first option is to simply fly away like a peaceful wedding dove, which I use to either avoid fights when I'm in a hurry or to reposition myself in a boss fight. Next, we can do up to 3 regular attacks. We can also follow up the Y's with an X or simply go straight to it. This strong attack makes our Tweety Bird do a diving attack back to the ground. While gliding, we gain 2 new attacks. This is our dashing regular attack. And this is our dashing strong attack. This doesn't end our glide mode, so we can spam volleys of arrows as much as we want. Because Teba's feathers can't be used as a shield, we lose the ability to do perfect guards. If you don't know what perfect guard is, check out my guide to one-handed weapon link. Links in the description. Even if we don't have perfect guard, we still have access to flurry rush. This can be triggered by dodging with B right as a boss is about to hit us. Once it triggers, we just mash Y to destroy their weak point meter. Now that we're done with the unwritten stuff, we can now proceed to our rune abilities. We can activate a rune by holding R and then pressing X, Y, A, or B. R plus X activates stasis that can freeze enemies in front of Tweety Bird. Unlike most champions, we need to aim and press X before the rune fires. Though this adds an additional button press, Teba's version of stasis is the longest in the game. This guarantees a clean execution of 5Ys to X while an enemy is in stasis. Demo later. R plus Y activates remote bomb. Similar to stasis, we need to follow up with Y to make Teba fire the remote bomb. R plus A is for Cryonis. This makes 3 mini ice pillars orbit around us. Our last rune is Magnesis that can be activated with R plus B. This creates a magnetic storm in front of Teba that traps enemies. Now we've reached the part where I share my build recommendations for Tweety Teba. First off, our best weapons a Falcon Bow, and the highest base damage that I have so far as of making this video is 70. Its first hidden seal is a mid-air damage plus. The second hidden seal is damage to enemies with status effects. For my seal recommendation that enables us to utterly and totally destroy Sylvester the cat, we go all out with mid-air attack damage.
What?
Why not attack speed? We have the longest stasis in the game that guarantees that we have the time to execute our longest combo. Plus, the mashing X part isn't dependent on our attack speed, but rather our thumb speed, or whichever finger that you use to press X. This means that this seal affects our X mashing, where most of our damage comes from. Attack speed is our alternative while we are in the process of building the best bow for Teba. Now we go into my favorite part of the vid. Tweety Teba has 2 common weak point attack animations. Here's the first, And here's the second. He does have other weak point attack animations depending on the enemy is fighting. Like my other guides, I'm not gonna include those here to avoid spoiling them for you. Next up is his special attack. So once we fully charge our stamina bar by killing monsters, we're able to perform a special attack by pressing A. Not only does the special attack deal a ton of damage, we can also use this to avoid the damage from big attacks that we're about to receive when caught off guard. When a boss is about to hit us, we can simply press A, and once the animation starts, the attack that was about to hit us will be cancelled. Here's an excerpt from a run in a natural disaster where I did my best to demonstrate how Teba Stasis works wonders together with his longest combos. I hope you enjoyed the video. Click here to watch the full guide to the chief that can't properly wear the Thunder Helm, Riju. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified for more Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity content. Stay tuned for my next vid, stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.